Grinders, you know who it is. Your boy Poker, back on the grind, back with showing you some highlights from the Grand Tour, aka the Kickoff. Here is an aggressive game you're going to see for me for the $12, and spoiler, we get to the final game here. So let's see how I play here. This was about an hour ago. I'm trying to do a video now. I've explained to you guys my house gets pretty loud just with different things turning on furnaces and stuff. So I'm trying to do a video now while it's quiet. So that's why my last video I just showed you guys the chest I was opening from the rewards and just playing music, because it's harder for me to do videos at times just with my current setup. But in about a month or so, that I'm hoping that'll get better. So we take it down with the 910 there. Okay, so this was, I bought in from the 12, as you can see. So it's not like it was a deep run or nothing like that. Pocket 4 is in the big blind. This guy limped in. It's usually a sign of a weak player, not all the time, but I tried to isolate him. We take it down. So back-to-back limps is just usually a sign this one's going to be on the weaker side. Having said that, I have been limping a little bit more in the big blind. I think a spot like this I might limp in, especially if I know they're not a regular player who's just going to bump me up. So you can get away with boards like this you can usually stab at. So this was an interesting hand. He called me down. You're not supposed to bluff when the board double barrels here with like boards up, but now I use the club. He goes all in here. I call him down with 9 high. If you play that hand a little slower, it kind of makes sense what I was doing. I double barreled there, which you're not traditionally supposed to do, especially if the draw got there, and it's not a scare card. If he has a 2 or 4, they're not going to fold to that ace. It's actually less likely for me to have an ace. But I decided to double barrel, and then when him just going all in there in that river, I'm not going to fold the 9 high flush there. As you can see, I was playing pretty fast here. Sometimes you give timing tells when you do that, but I wasn't playing people that I usually play, so I didn't mind just speeding it up. Here with my chip stack, any ace there in that spot, I'm just going to jam over 15 bigs. This game here, you guys will learn these two players I picked up very fast that they're extremely tight. So I'm just picking spots that any spot that I feel a bit of weakness, I start stabbing at it. They were just not playing a hand, not playing pots, trying to see anything for cheap. So I was just kind of playing pretty standard. If he bets here, he's never like, you know, what are we beating, you know, besides a miss that they haven't shown any aggression yet. So even that Jack 9, I probably could have just jammed. I bet you a chart would say to jam there. Obviously I didn't, but looking back at that with his chip stacked, a jam is probably more optimal. I know it looks funny when you see spots like that, 13 bigs. If he calls you, you're behind, but the fact that you can get that bounty and obviously fold equity too, it's probably a chart would say to jam there. So here I just felt total weakness, bet over pot. So this is a spot if he folds, it's a jam all day to Sunday. So as you can see, this player here just refuses to play a hand. It's crazy. So I decided to label him. Eight 10 suited, I wouldn't be thrilled, but that would be a call versus him, even though he's shown complete tightness. But it would do too well in an all-in situation to try to get someone out. So here this guy wakes up with pocket kings with 6 big blinds, so that's unfortunate. We obviously had a monster to get a bounty. We don't get there, so he doubles up. Throw him the little Christmas presents here. I wish when these presents land, I wish they exploded like a Family Guy kind of thing. Like they should blow up on the guy. 10-7 suited, one of those spots too. It is a call. I would think that's the right play, knowing that I'm going to be behind, but same kind of thought that you have a chance to get a bounty. We're even in chips, so it's not like it crippled me. I'm pretty sure that would be a call, but I could be wrong on that one. So here my nung's going to be good most of the time. check. So here I snap call, which probably shouldn't have. He got there on the river. So I'm down to under 4 big blinds, and look at this. They should be calling with such a big range. They don't even consider it. I had 5-6 suited there, pocket twos, and when you're playing people this tight, they just let you get right back in the game. So this guy limped. You think he was going to limp to call my all-in, but not the other person's, and he actually just folds. I was hoping to try to win a coin flip to double up. Here, this guy's obviously been tight, but we're too strong to fold. And I think that's the right shove he did because he had me covered. I was actually kind of surprised because he hadn't been playing anything, but it's probably not too bad. Obviously, pocket threes here. We have them both covered, and we have a chance to get the guy who's blinding out there. When you're down to 2 to 1 big blinds, there's really not too many hands you should be folding. And you see so many people just give away games because, you know, they have weak hands and they're not calling. So this was obviously a bad river for us. When you're playing this many rookie players, I don't even think I should just go all in. Sometimes it makes them see it a little quicker when there's a straight already on the board. You'd be amazed sometimes if you just bet pot, like people get confused. Pocket fives versus 10 big blinds there, easy jam. 9-2, this actually stumped me here because I have them covered, but I really don't want to just punt it. I know, I just feel like I was in such a good spot to move on to the final table there. The king 7 doubles up. 6-8 suited here. I was going to call an all in, I think, because I thought he was just going to jam to get both them. I'm glad he didn't. I was happy just to check it then. So here's a spot I just feel complete weakness, so I just go all in. So this is what happens when they're that tight. You just find these spots. So like, look at this guy. He's under 2 big blinds and he folds there. I don't think there's one hand in the deck he should be folding in that spot. I don't even think 2-7 should be folding. So it's just inexperience. King 3, a chance to get a double knockout for the win. Fortunately, we do not. So this is a game, like, really, if you look it back, like, we probably shouldn't have won this game. We were down to under 4 big blinds. They kept folding, letting us get right back in it. And then so many spots I stole hands were without any pairs or anything. But that's when you're hoping your experience can win some of these games that you shouldn't really win. Easy all in. And he still folds under 2 big blinds there, so he's just not giving himself a chance. 3-6, we would have called him, and he's under 1 big blind there, and he's folding. So pretty crazy. That guy's just kind of waiting for a hand, right? And then that's what happens. He has me covered, but I wrote tightest player ever, and just like that, we're going to final table. We won our daily bet. POKERSTARS, they're trying to give you these challenges to get people sports betting. So every day you play a couple of games and then they give you $1 to sports bet. So we come in here with $30 over our head, which is 28 big blinds, which is always nice when you have a small chip lead. Everyone's starting off the limp, which I don't mind seeing at a final table. So here's going to be a hand that would be just not really textbook here. I just felt like everyone was really weak. I was already planning to steal it here. That's the one guy that could be stronger, everyone checking. But I decided I have a blocker here. I have also the king of clubs. So I went for a big raise. So that if you pause and look at that, a lot of times I'm going to be checking strong hands in that spot. I could have 8-9, I could have 2 pairs, I could have a whole bunch of random cards, right? And so chance he could have it, and then I just use that as another scare card, hoping he was on a other kind of draw that kind of missed, or if he had even a 10 or something. But I think a 10 would have just went all in, hoping we're on a draw on the turn. So pure regression for these 2 games. Obviously, there's times it's just not going to work out. You're going to be punting games, but I don't think you can go to those spots and be afraid to make moves to risk losing games. The old min raise. So this was a very unique hand here. Min raise and then pretty crazy that what they all woke up. But this was very obvious. This guy had pocket aces. Like, it was super obvious. I labeled this guy not a good player. Ace 10 in that spot is just, you'd rather even want like Jack Queen suited than Ace 10. Like, your Ace 10 is just such a bad hand in that spot. I'd rather like a suited connector, even 10-9 suited, than if I'm really going to call an all in that spot. Your ace, your 10 kicker is just never going to be good. So I was tanking there because I was making a note. I actually would have raised this up if I was paying attention just in the small blind here. I would prefer raising in that spot with 8-9 suited, just with how deep we are too. Do a little stab. Obviously, you're going to take it down a lot. He should be betting a lot when I check the turn. So here I have a straight. I don't want to get raised, so I just did a blocker bet. Little small bet, little feeler. He called me with a pair the whole time, which is obviously a standard call, and then he had a small flush. So here we're playing the crazy player in position. I'm going to want to obviously play against him as much as I can. Okay, we lose about half our stacks now. Oh, not as much, but... So ace 8 here, that would have been strange. If he would have went all in here, that would have put me in a pretty spot, because my ace 8 is pretty strong versus his range, what we've seen. But the fact that a guy behind me can wake up still with a big hand, it would have sucked having to lay that down. But he didn't go all in to put us in a spot, so... So if he limps here, this is the type of hand I definitely want to isolate him a bit more, like raise him up. He's going to be seeing so many flops checking to me, and I can bet just almost every flop. And it's very hard, you know, to hit pairs and stuff like that. That you do that, you're going to take it down a lot pre-flop, and then you just do a small C bet on the flop. And if you do that a lot more in the big blind, you'll be winning a lot more pots overall. So that's what I was saying on the button here. I've been mixing in a lot more limps here. Just people tend to always check to you, so you can see a lot of turns for free. You can bet boards that are high. You can obviously hit low hands. So here I was just hoping he was strong or going to call on any draw, him just leading out there. Obviously he was a little greedy, but with how bad he's shown that he is, I thought any pair, any draw would just call us. So I wanted just to go for the whole bounty. Ace 9 here. If he went all in, I would have to rejam him. He didn't, so I think I decided to trap him. If he would have raised here, I think it's a hand I would just rejam. So here he's not going to put me in too many aces because I limped in pre-flop. Not really a point of betting. Rather check call. Don't want to raise. He still could have a 10. So same thing, check call, because you want his bluffs to still bet, because I could have like a Queen X or King X that missed there, so you want him the chance to stab at it. King 9, I would fold to the small big blind raise, and I'd call the big blind, sorry, yeah, the big blind. If he went all in there, I would call, but I was going to fold to the small blind. So here's an interesting spot. I decided to snap fold there, just knowing that the guy behind me could wake up with a hand, and look at that. Would have sucked. So pocket kings take that down, flops the set. We are heads up. So as you can see, the theme for this video, I decided to keep playing aggressive, so I would imagine my heads up here is the same style what I did to get to the final table. I raise him up. Obviously, if he raises there, we're folding, but going to see as much pots as I can from the button. Heads up. So because I've been so aggressive with this guy, I didn't think his 5s would fold too often. He still has some draws too, 6 7s, 9 10s, even some, I don't know, a 9 7 or something like that could still call us. I figured his jack would have raised us. When you're being this aggressive, you're all in bluffs though. You gotta understand, usually you're not gonna get too much credit. So here, I just decided to do a limp trap. Ace 8's good enough for his all in range. I snap call. He has pocket 7s. We're waiting. Booyah, and we spike the river. So not a bad play by him whatsoever, but I think a limp call in that spot's pretty standard. Heads up there for 15 bigs. And fortunate enough, we rivered them and we get ourselves a victory. So it just shows you that victory, and more or less showing this win, because I had no business really winning that game to get to the final table. So if you pick those spots where you find weakness in players and you can just kind of bully them around, you can get yourself some victories that you shouldn't really have. So I'll let you guys on that one. Have a good Christmas, and I'll see you guys soon. Peace.